Hello and welcome to this channel, everyone. My name is Janet. I'm working through the King James's Bible. Today I am in the book of Esther and I will be covering the final two chapters today, chapters 9 and 10. So, if you're ready, let us begin. Now, to follow these chapters, you really need to have read chapters 1 right up to 8 because it fills you in with the details, which I'm not going to do here. So check out my previous two videos on Esther and you will get you up to date to follow along here today. Okay, so let's get started with chapter 9. So it's the 12th month of the 13th day, which is a significant day, right? This was the day that Haman, the king's official, King Ahasuerus, his official Haman, who is like the prime minister of our day today, who is now executed, by the way, so I'm just giving you quick recaps here. He put forth that he wanted all the Jews killed on this day. Now, Queen Esther, she is a Jew herself, and her cousin, who is also her foster father, he is a Jew as well, and they fought really hard to have this altered. So the king now has put in a counter decree and he's given the Jews the rights to kill any of their enemies on this day. So we learned in the last part of chapter 8 yesterday that a lot of people were fearing the Jews now and they decided to become a Jew themselves to prevent this from happening so that they weren't going to be killed. Now, the 12th month is known as Adar in Hebrew, which means joy, majestic, and glorify. So now we've covered all of that ground. This day is here, and so the Jews are now ready to attack their enemies, and this is exactly what they do. And fear had fallen upon all of the enemies of the Jews, and so they were overpowered by them, and so they were victorious. Plus, all of the officials, all of the governors over all of the 127 provinces, they were all falling in line with Mordechiah because he has now been appointed as prime minister. Where Haman previously was, we now have Mordechiah. So he is honoured and he's respected and his fame is known throughout the lands and they are following his orders, which of course is going to be on the side of the Jews. So the Jews are successful and they overthrow their enemies. And if you check out the link under this video for chapter 9 and go to verses 6 to 7, you will see there a list of all the cities in which the Jews fought their enemies. Now, on the day of these killings, the king is given a list of how many have died in Shushan, the citadel. And his number is 500 men have been killed and also 10 of Haman's sons. They have been killed also. So the king then speaks to his wife, Queen Esther. He asks her, "What do you request we do now?" And she requests that all of the Jews continue killing for another day, so on the 14th day, and that all of the sons of Haman now are hung on the gallows. So on the 14th day of the month of Hadar, which is the 12th month, more killings are carried out. And it says another 300 men were killed, but they do not take their plunder, that is not taken. Then in all the provinces, we're looking further afield because those 300 are in Shushan, further afield in those 127 provinces, we end up with 75,000 of the Jews' enemies are killed. And again, they do not touch any of the plunder. So finally, on the 14th day, they are able to rest, the Jews now, and they set this day as a festival, like a festival and feast of joy. That's throughout the provinces, but in Shushan, they decide to rest on the 15th day and make that the feast and gladness day for them. So that is when they're going to give gifts to one another, and it is set. Mordechiah, he then sends out letters to all of the Jews to set now the 13th and the 14th as an official holiday during the 12th month. And this is to signify when the Jews were given rest from their enemies, when they came from sorrow to joy, and they send presents to one another and they give gifts to the poor. And the day is officially known as Purim. Pur means lot, and if you remember Haman, he threw a lot to choose that day. So Purim is lots, which means this is the day when the lot changed and they had success over their enemies. And this is where we close chapter 9. Now, chapter 10 is a very short chapter. This is where it just goes over the glory of Mordakia, and it says, King Ahasuerus imposes a tribute on the land and islands of the sea. And then it says the final acts. If you want to find out the final acts of King Ahasuerus, you would refer then to the Book of Chronicles of the kings of Media and Persia. That's where you will find his details. And it also includes in there all of the greatness of Mordakia, because he was by the king's side as he went through these last chapters of his life. And then it just lists at the very end, Mordakia is second to the king, a high-levelled position he was given, and is honoured by the Jews as great and speaking peace to his people. And this is where we close the book of Esther. So thank you for coming along on this journey throughout the book of Esther with me. I'll be back again in the next video as we start the book of Job. So I hope you're going to continue along with me, and I'll be back again soon. Take care now. Bye.